Can coffee really fight depression after 50? Here's what the science says. Men, listen to this. Did you know that that cup of coffee you drink every morning could be doing so much more than just waking you up? You could be helping them fight depression, especially if they're over 50. But is this true or just a myth we love to believe? Stay until the end, because the science we are going to share is going to leave you with your mouth open. Welcome to Real Men, Real Minds, the channel where we talk about men's mental health with clear data, bluntly, and with a touch of hope. Grab your favorite coffee, hit the subscribe button, and let's start this journey together. Why coffee and depression? If you're over 50, you know that life can become challenging. Work, family responsibilities, health ailments, even worries about the future. Everything accumulates. Depression in men over 50 is a more common problem than many admit. Studies show that up to 20% of men in this group face depressive symptoms, such as irritability, constant tiredness, or feeling disconnected from what they were once passionate about. But what does coffee have to do with this? For many of us, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual. That aroma when you prepare the coffee maker, the first sip that brings you out of sleep, it is almost sacred. And now science is investigating whether this daily ritual could have benefits beyond morning energy. Could coffee really help fight depression? Let's dive into the scientific data, starting with how coffee interacts with your brain. How does coffee work in your brain? First, let's talk about caffeine, the star ingredient in coffee. Caffeine is a stimulant that acts like a superhero in your nervous system. When you drink coffee, caffeine blocks a molecule called adenosine, which is what makes you feel sleepy as the day goes on. By blocking adenosine, you feel more alert. But here's the interesting thing. This process also increases the activity of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that acts as the fuel for motivation, pleasure, and mental clarity. According to research from the National Institute of Health, caffeine stimulates the release of dopamine in two key areas of the brain. The prefrontal cortex, which is like the executive director of your concentration, and the nucleus accumbens, which is linked to feelings of reward and well-being. For men over 50, this is crucial. As we age, dopamine levels naturally decrease, which can lead to that feeling of brain fog or lack of spark. A study published in Practical Neurology by neuroscientist Astrid Naelig found that drinking between 2 and 4 cups of coffee a day can improve attention, concentration, and even mood. Picture this. That mid-morning coffee could be helping you stay focused on an important project or enjoy more of a walk in the park. And there's more. A 2023 study by Cafe's Mama Same revealed that older adults, especially men, are more sensitive to the mood-boosting effects of caffeine. So that espresso you drink could be giving you a bigger emotional boost than you did in your 30s. But can coffee really prevent depression? Let's break down the evidence. Coffee and depression. What the science says. Depression in men over 50 doesn't always look like it does in the movies with someone crying in a corner. Often it manifests as anger, frustration, difficulty sleeping, or simply not finding meaning in the things that used to make you happy. It can be that feeling of being trapped, of not having the energy to get up and face the day. Sound familiar? If so, coffee could be an unexpected ally. A 2010 study in Finland, which followed 2,232 middle-aged men, found something surprising. Those who drank 4 or more cups of coffee a day had a 77% lower risk of developing depression compared to those who didn't drink coffee. Another massive study known as the Nurses' Health Study looked at more than 50,000 people and showed that those who drank 2 to 4 cups of caffeinated coffee a day reduced their risk of depression by 15 to 20% compared to those who drank decaf or less than 1 cup a week. Why does this happen? It's not just dopamine. Coffee is loaded with antioxidants, such as chlorogenic acids, which act as shields against brain inflammation, a factor that scientists now know is closely linked to depression. A 2014 Japanese study even suggested that these antioxidants may relieve mental discomfort in people with inflammation. In addition, Caffeine seems to make dopamine receptors in your brain more sensitive, which means your body takes better advantage of those feel-good signals. For men over 50, where chronic inflammation and dopamine drop are more common, these effects could make a real difference. But, and this is important, these studies are observational. That means they show a connection, but they don't prove that coffee is the direct cause of less depression. It could be that coffee drinkers tend to be more active, social, or have other healthy habits that also protect their mental health. And let's not forget that genetics play a role. Some people process caffeine differently, which affects how it impacts them. The risks of too much coffee. Now, before you go out and buy an industrial coffee maker, let's talk about the risks. Coffee is great, but more isn't always better, especially for those over 50. Drinking more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, equivalent to about 4 cups of filtered coffee, can get you in trouble. It can trigger anxiety, cause you to not sleep well, or even raise your blood pressure. And let me tell you something. Insomnia and anxiety are like gasoline for depression, not its enemies. With over 10 years of experience in mental health, I've seen many men use coffee as a crutch to deal with fatigue or low mood. I remember a customer, let's call him John, 55 years old, who drank 6 cups a day to keep going. But in reality, he was more anxious, slept poorly, and his depressive symptoms worsened. When he cut back on coffee and started walking 20 minutes a day, he noticed a huge difference. Another problem is tolerance. If you drink coffee every day, your brain can get used to that dopamine boost, and over time, you need more coffee to feel the same. And if you quit coffee cold turkey, beware. You may feel exhausted or cranky, which doesn't help if you're already dealing with depression. Also, if you have heart problems, chronic insomnia, or take medications such as antidepressants, caffeine can interact and complicate things. So, while coffee has benefits, you have to use it wisely. Practical tips for men over 50. So, how can you leverage coffee to support your mental health without falling into the risks? Here are my tips, based on more than 10 years of experience working with men like you. Maintain moderation. 2 to 3 cups a day, maximum 400 milligrams of caffeine. Spread them throughout the morning to avoid energy peaks. Choose the right time. Drink coffee in the morning or mid-morning, never after 2 p.m. Protecting your sleep is key to your mental health. Pair it with healthy habits. Coffee works best if you pair it with regular exercise, such as a 30-minute walk, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, and time with friends or family. Listen to your body. If you feel nervous, throbbing, or don't sleep well, cut back on coffee. Not all of us react the same to caffeine. Don't ignore depression. If you feel like coffee isn't enough and you still have symptoms like sadness or lack of motivation, talk to a therapist or doctor. Coffee is an adjunct, not a substitute for professional help. In short, coffee can be a powerful ally for mental clarity and possibly reducing the risk of depression in men over 50, thanks to its effect on dopamine and its inflammation-fighting antioxidants. But it is not a miracle cure. Use it wisely, integrate it into a healthy lifestyle, and don't hesitate to seek help if you need it. What's your coffee routine? Do you feel like it lifts your spirits or makes you nervous? Leave it in the comments, like it, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to Real Men, Real Minds for more real mental health tips. See you in the next video.